Here we are, folks, trying out my different phone this time. No big deal. The sun is shining. That's a nice winter day. It's about 11 o'clock, I guess. This fella here has been poking her out. Just got the heater on. My little heater. 700-800 watts most of the time, up to 1200 watts. So it actually hit float with the heater on, which is pretty nice. And my my 39 volt one, sun hasn't got all the way around to that, so it's just getting started. And the balance is bang on deadly. So today I think I'm going to try and charge this battery bank. So I'll move my balancer over to that so I can keep an eye on it while I charge it. We'll see what happens. Thanks. Okay, folks, this is my third battery bank. The other two are over here. One there, one's covered up. So I've had them connected in parallel. Oh, I don't know, maybe two weeks now. They've been all connected. All the 12S, 11S, 10S, right down to 1S and 0, all been connected with the 20 gauge wire. And the battery bank's flat dead on, so finally I decided, well, maybe I'd hook it up. This is a temporary thing, but I got it hooked up to my trip light over here. And I'm going to charge. So, flip on the breaker, flip on the trip light, and it's going to start charging. So, I put on my balancers just so I could track it, plus to keep it in line while we go here. So what do we got? It's moving around, but the cell difference right now is 005. So they're pretty well balanced as soon as I open them up, but that's nominal voltage. And then it says warning, resolution, resistance too high. Now that wasn't there yesterday, so I don't know if that's what that's all about on 11. Sometimes we don't get all the answers we want. Usually it flashes when it balances, so we'll have another look at that to see what's going on. One thing for sure, you have to make sure when you use these balancers that they're plugged in so that you know you have a connection, and they're kind of particular that way. But you can see now I have plugged it, unplugged it, and it's now 146 on 11. Yesterday that wasn't there at all, so, but it's starting to do a little bit of balancing. I don't know, it balances until it figures out it doesn't need to. Way out there, O2, so it'll probably shut off soon. But when it's being charged, it's liable to balance more. I could probably shut it off and just use the monitor. I don't know why it's not flashing like it usually is. One thing about electronics, you might have an answer one day, but the next day it's a different answer. Anyway, there it is. She's all set up. Hopefully I don't have any dirty connections, but I don't think so. So we're putting 30 amps in it. I'll just get my gauge here. or 33 amps. That's what that trip light is putting out. Which isn't a whole lot, but I mean, over a battery bank that size, hey, I don't know, not very much per cell, I can tell you that. So it'll probably take, I don't know, voltage is not a real determinator for capacity, so this bank might charge for 10 hours and never go up more than half a volt. But I did charge it yesterday for 3 hours, so it come up from 38.9 to 39 point something. But you know, capacity of that bank will get filled up, and then when the voltage hits the top, she'll shut. The trip light would shut down on the other battery bank, but it had a BMS to control it. Or this is just the balancer, so I have it set on gel settings, which is the closest I could find for LifePro 4, and it is really close to what I want. So we'll just have a look and see. I don't know how many hours we'll be at this, but it'll be a while. So we're at 03 there, so it says. I'm more concerned it's not flashing. I just loaded that program into that other phone I got, so God only knows what's going on there. Anyway, we'll see how we make out. Thanks. Okay, I switched phones because I can. I just realized that once you link one of these with a Bluetooth, you pretty well have to reboot it to link it to a different one and make sure the software is let go of it, even in after your phone's been you've closed the app in your phone, because it doesn't really let go. Anyway, I rebooted it, but I got the same well, no, 119 now on the 11 cell for resistance, and you can see it's bouncing there. It's drawn from 1 anyway. Sometimes you'll see it change up there. You'll see it change to a plus where it's putting into something else, but right now it's burning it off, I guess. All I know is it works. In the end, it works. Interesting. And now it's not flashing. Usually I thought it flashed all it, but it did flash when it started up and it hooked up. It was flashing and it beeps. And then you know you're hooked to it, so. Oh. Interesting thing. Have to keep an eye on that voltage though. Here's my other balance board. Now I got it hooked up down here, you know. There it is down there, hooked up. Same wires as this other one was hooked to over here. But I can't get the voltage out of it. It only claims for 6 volts, and I've got the settings the same and everything. But it appears to balance. Well, I haven't got it turned on. Let me turn on the balancing. Okay, well, like I said, it appears to balance when it does. Maybe it won't, because it's only out a wee bit. Maybe 2 at the most, so it's probably not going to balance. because it shuts down when it gets to perfect. Anyway, it shows 12 cells. It's got that part figured out. For a while it only showed 4 cells. Now it shows 12 cells. But for the life of me, I can't get it to show the correct voltage. It does appear to balance when it goes out of balance. So I think that part's working. Everything looks the same. Settings are the same, but the board doesn't work. And EJ won't give me a refund on it. So I'm a little bit pissed at that. Which is why I included this in my video. Guess we'll go hunting somewhere else for equipment.